Hey y'all, welcome to Simply Jan Homestead. Hey, I want to talk to you about homesteading. What do you do if your partner, the love of your life, doesn't want anything to do with it? So God's put this dream on your heart, and all you can think about is gardening on your acreage and raising the animals and getting your own meat and producing your own food and collecting your own eggs. What do you do when your partner says no? When we first came through Missouri, my brother had esophageal cancer, and we had to go between Texas and Illinois. And we absolutely, both of us fell in love with Missouri. And I told the boss, I feel like God wants us to move to Missouri. And he looked at me like I'd lost my ever-loving mind. We lived on a half acre in Texas, near Canyon Lake, Texas. We had 4 chickens, we had gardens, we had compost, we had fruit trees. We had all the things going on. But all I could think about was moving to Missouri. Yeah. So I told the boss I wanted to move to Missouri. What'd I do? Started looking at houses. We both had great jobs. We didn't want to really leave. Well, he didn't. I did. God had put it on my heart. So what better thing for me to do than to tell God, I'm not the leader. He is. And if you want us to move to Missouri, you're going to have to put it on his heart. That's right.
Yeah, so she was on me for a couple years about moving up here. And what actually ended up happening was I had gotten laid off from a job that I worked there for 10 years in San Antonio. We lived about 45 minutes away, but
It was awful. It was an awful drive.
It was a terrible drive every day. But
in San Antonio, it's bad. If anyone knows about San Antonio,
no, the traffic. Yeah,
it's
still better traffic than Austin or Dallas or Houston.
Yes,
better than all 3 of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Austin's probably the worst. Well, maybe Houston, but anyway, so I got laid off, and then I told her,
This was a year. Now we had a year.
This was January of 2019 when I got laid off. First part of the year, January 2019, I get laid off, and I come in and I told Jan, I said, that's it. Let's just
sell the house.
Let's sell the house. Let's move. That was the kind of the catalyst. But in the meantime, I still had to find a job there, where we were,
and we had to do we put some crown molding up in the house to get we got $500 more out of the crown molding.
Before we even get to that point, so I tell her to do that, put the house up for sale. This was in January. Well, it didn't take me long. I got another job at another company that was actually closer to where we lived, who had been trying to get me to come there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? And I was so loyal to the people I worked for in San Antonio that I didn't leave. And see, I was the highest paid employee at the job in San Antonio. And they started having financial difficulties, so they let me go because I was the highest paid employee.
So what happened after that?
Well, after that, I got a job with, like I said, the people who'd been trying to lure me away for 5 years. I went and applied there. I got hired pretty quick. And so I wasn't unemployed like maybe a month, maybe 3 weeks, a month. I didn't even get an unemployment check for it. I applied for it, and I didn't have enough time or something. I can't remember what it was, but I
think you got one.
Did I get one?
Yeah.
I might have got one.
Yeah, it was like one.
Anyway, so I started working for them, and I didn't want to tell them because I wasn't sure our house was going to sell for what we wanted. I never told them till like the very end that that we were selling the house and we were moving out of the state.
Yeah.
And they were very sad to see me go. And the lady that I worked for, she asked if it was because of her or anything. I said, no, you guys have been great to me. And I said, this has just been a long time coming. And, what put it on me to do it too was as I was driving, after I got laid off that day and I was driving home, I was thinking about it and how she wanted to go to Missouri. And this was the opportunity to do it. And we're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I would be closer to my parents and the rest of my family that's up in Iowa and Minnesota. So
our family is Michigan, Illinois, Texas, Indiana, and Iowa, and Minnesota, and Canada. That's how far our family spans.
We're all kind of spread out.
Yeah, but the main objective was to be close to mom and dad.
Well,
because
Dad
wasn't.
He's not in the best of shape, and he's getting older, and that way.
And Missouri was
kind of the center point, center point of the U.S.
Yeah.
For
10 hours to Texas to the kids. Well, Minnesota, I don't know how far.
Probably about. Well, I mean, to my folks' place, it's like 7
hours
from here. So we're a little bit farther up this way, but
it was a lot closer than it was in Texas because when his dad got sick, it was what 10, 12 hour drive?
No. 10. Way longer than that. 17.
Oh, it was
18,
17. Yeah, okay.
17, 18 hour drive.
See, that's why I have him around. Yeah. So we started looking a year into it. 2 years into it, I really started looking, but then, we couldn't carry 2 mortgages. And then a year into it, right before we put the house up for sale, I started looking. And I was like, I knew because I knew this was what we were supposed to do.
But in the meantime, I thought the looking was a waste of time.
He did.
And I was correct.
He was correct.
I was going to have a job here.
Yeah.
And
you have to have a job.
You got to have a job.
Yeah.
And we were coming here blind with no job.
Yeah, we both quit our jobs.
And our neighbors thought we were, and who were really good friends with, we're still good friends with, thought we were nuts for doing this.
We sold probably 3/4 of what we owned. Yeah.
A lot of stuff. We got rid of a lot of stuff.
We did. We cleared house.
And still, so we ended up coming up here after we sold the house blind, didn't have no jobs.
No jobs. I quit my job of 12 years as a district trainer manager for major the largest pulp company in the world. And Kevin quit his job. We got more than we asked for on the house. And we were
not more than we asked for, but we got
more back.
We got more than we thought we were gonna get. Clear what we would clear.
We cleared more.
Well, we would clear.
So we were good with that. We had we had our cushion. We were frugal, and we paid for 6 months on a duplex. The day we had to go back to Texas, we found someone who did do a 6-month lease. Nobody wanted to.
Yeah, so we had to basically my plan was find a place to rent for 6 months if possible, get a job, and then get a house.
Yes.
And that's basically what worked out because we got here in November of 2019.
Yeah.
And in April of 2020, we bought this house.
But we looked at a lot of places, y'all. We looked at a lot of places. And this place was up for sale for 9 months, right?
Longer than that, a couple years. I think it was a couple years.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh.
I think it was for a couple years. It wasn't selling.
It wasn't selling because they had someone. We were going VA because my husband's retired military, and
I'm not retired military.
well, you're a vet.
I'm a vet. I'm not
Okay, he's
retired
a vet.
military.
He's not retired military.
No,
He's
I'm
a
not
vet.
retired military. I served, but yeah.
So they had a bad experience with the VA loan. Someone, it didn't go through. All they had to do was make the lagoon bigger and put railings on the porches in the front and the back. That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do.
They had to put one on.
Yeah,
That one right there.
railing
You showed
on
them.
each porch. The other one only has one, two in the back.
You only gotta have
But
one.
they had to do the lagoon. And during this time, it was the rainiest April,
It's up till this year.
May,
Till this year.
wait, January, March. March and April were
Very rainy.
monsoons. And our closing got put back a month, and I swear I lost my marbles when our realtor told us that we had to push it back again.
The funny thing is it got pushed back till Good Friday
Good
of
Friday.
of April 9th of April of 2020.
Yeah.
And we had put our house on the market in Texas on Good Friday.
Yep.
And
All things work together
yeah, so
for good.
all of it getting pushed back,
Yes.
it became like not a calendar year, but Good Friday. It went on, our house in Texas went on the market. We sold it we closed in November when we sold the house.
And your brother's
And
birthday?
we moved to Missouri on my brother's birthday.
Yeah.
We closed on the 5th.
We closed on the 5th.
Came here we got here on the 6th.
Yeah.
And which is my brother's birthday. And then when we bought this house here, we closed on it on Good Friday. So
Yeah.
there's something to that.
Yeah.
There's
Okay, we're gonna tell you some more. Do you regret moving here?
no.
Me neither. I guess our message is if you have a dream, follow it. If you have peace, go for it. Don't let negativity get in your way. Don't let all the what ifs get in your way. If God has directed you to do something, follow it. Follow it. Follow it to the end because He has a plan. And I knew in my heart this is what we were supposed to do. He didn't know in his heart that was what we were supposed to do. But one day, when I just gave it up and I said, God, you got to tell Kevin I'm not the one, it all came together. And everything was synergistic. It all came together. So I guess our message is to follow your dreams, huh?
Yeah, and
Follow your dream.
don't think you're like too old to do something or like
No.
or like I've done a lot of things in my life that were like on a whim.
Yeah.
Like I joined the military on a whim. Like all of a sudden, boom! I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to the military. I was gone 2 weeks later. This was when I was 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how it's.
Follow your
kind
dreams.
of worked out for me sometimes, and like I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Some people might think it's a rash decision, but sometimes, hey, you only live once. That's all you can do.
When we look around our homestead and all that we have created by God's grace in our two hands, we are blown away. We are so blown away.
Yep.
I mean, He's done things that He's never done before. And He's built things He's never built before. He's used tools He's never used before. And me too. I'm learning too. But it's a beautiful thing to follow your dreams. And if you have a dream and your partner's not on board, turn it over to the Lord. That's our ultimate message. Turn it over to the Lord. He'll work it out.
Because you know what? What might end up happening is the Lord might change your mind too. Like, might be like, no.
He could have very well changed my mind.
Might have changed her mind.
Yeah, but He didn't. And I knew I knew.
I guess she pretty much knew. I didn't have that, like, I didn't have that confidence, you know, that we were going to move out of Texas, because I didn't have any problem with where we, you know, I liked it down there. I did.
Yeah, we love Texas,
Still,
but it was so expensive. It was so expensive, and at least here we're able to breathe. And yeah, we get snow. Yeah, it gets cold, but it gets cold there too. So anyway, y'all, I think
that's pretty much
that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Y'all be blessed.
And love well.
Bye now.
Bye.